One of the hardest things about owning a clothing brand, especially in the beginning stages, is having that good content and good marketing to actually back your brand up. And I could definitely understand how frustrating it might be to feel like you have a good product, but your content is just not hitting no matter what you post or how many times you post. But don't worry, guys, I've literally made every mistake in the book when it comes to marketing a clothing brand. I'm going to be telling you basically every big mistake beginner clothing brands make when it comes to their content and marketing. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the video. I don't want to waste any of your precious time. So let's get straight into it. So this is why you should listen to me. So I have my own six-plus figure clothing brand. This is me laying on the packages. And I also help other clothing brands, make hundreds and thousands of dollars with my marketing and ad advice. You can see this one is 20,000 in just 1 week. And then this brand is 89,000 in just 90 days. So I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to marketing efforts for a clothing brand. So let me just hop straight into the first mistake you might be making if you're a beginner clothing brand owner. First mistake a lot of beginner clothing brands make is they just post singular product pictures, or they only post pictures of their product. So a lot of these beginner clothing brands, they'll hop on TikTok and just spam slideshow after slideshow after slideshow of their product pictures. And while there's nothing wrong with posting slideshows on TikTok, you need to be making sure you are varying up your content, posting different stuff. If you're just spamming slideshows and saying buy now, that is not going to work with your clothing brand. Like I said, a lot of these clothing brands, they'll just do some slideshows and they'll put like a singular Instagram post just says out now, go buy it. And then they'll put like a bunch of hashtags, whatever. Like, this is very amateur looking stuff. You don't want to be doing this for your clothing brand. When it comes to your clothing brand content, you don't want to make a bunch of bottom of funnel type content. You don't want to be making a bunch of buy now, just buy my stuff now, it's out now. Like, that type of content will drive away potential customers. You need to give people a reason to buy from your brand. And a lot of these times, these slideshows or these pictures on the Instagram are just bad. They have poor lighting, poor background. The clothes are wrinkled. They're not sitting right. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff that is throwing people off. And on top of it, just being a really bottom of funnel, buy my stuff now post. You want to be avoiding this, especially if you're a beginner clothing brand. You want to make content that gives people a reason to buy from your brand, whether your product is cool or you have a special meaning behind your brand. You want to be giving people a reason to buy from your brand. And it's 2025. You can't get away with just posting a bunch of pictures and thinking you're going to sell, 200 pieces or more. You need to have a mixed bag. I say this in all my videos. You need to have a mix in your content. This means on bodies, flat lays, influencers if possible. And this means both videos and pictures. You cannot spam only pictures. You need to make reels, TikToks, influencer posts. You need to do all this stuff for your clothing brand to maximize your potential. Just posting TikTok slideshows or just one Instagram feed post is not going to cut it unless your product is just absolutely crazy, original, absolutely groundbreaking, which for 99% of y'all, your product is not going to be anything groundbreaking. Now, for mistake number two, that is going to be inconsistency. You have to show up every day to see the results. That's just how it is. If you can do something crazy, you can do something, out of this world, but if you're not showing up every day to promote that drop, it's not going to reach its max potential. Posting one time a week is not enough for your clothing brand. Being consistent will allow you to build an audience and actually build momentum. When promoting a drop, I say this all the time, but you need to be posting every single day leading up to your drop, at least, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before that first drop. And all you need to do is just study the top performing brand videos on TikTok or Instagram and just recreate the content in a better way or your own way. And this will allow you to get hands on experience in making content consistently. Listen, the people who win are the people who are showing up every day and being consistent and, interacting with their community and building with their community. If you're just here posting, 3 times a month, you're posting one time every 6 months, like, that is not going to be a way for your clothing brand to pop off or to build an audience. So you need to be very consistent, showing up when it matters most, and at least showing up every single day so you can track your progress and see if you're actually doing good. Now, before I go on to the next couple of mistakes, real quick, if you're already doing numbers with your clothing brand, but you feel like you're struggling when it comes to ads or content, I filmed a free breakdown for you guys going over the 3 fundamentals that helped me scale my brand to 6 figures plus. And I'm literally going to be walking 10 people through this. Only 10 people though. So if that's something you want to be a part of, is that something you're interested in, just click the first link down below so we can work one-on-one with each other. Now let's go on to the next mistake. The next mistake, which is mistake number three, is making content only for yourself. A lot of beginner brand owners get tunnel vision and only do what they like personally. Listen, you need to know your target audience. Your target audience becomes first over you. You cannot just be making content. You can't just be making pieces solely only for yourself. Yes, it's important that you like what you make, that it's important that you like what you do. But at the end of the day, it's business. You need to do what your audience wants first. So that means you need to know exactly what your audience wants. You need to know exactly who you're making clothes for. You need to know your target audience because that is so, so important. There's so many beginner brand owners, they don't even know who they make clothes for. I asked some of these brand owners at their beginning stages who they make clothes for, and they're just like, I don't know, I just make cool clothes. That is not going to fly in the long run. You need to be making sure you are making clothes for a specific type of audience. And you also need to be constantly thinking in the POV of a potential customer. You just need to know what stage of awareness your videos are intended to target. Listen, every time you make a video for your clothing brand, you need to be thinking about how your customer is going to react to this video, how a potential customer is going to take action after this video. If you're just making videos to make videos, you are not going to be driving the maximum potential of your clothing brand sales. And that's why it's important to know the different stages of awareness and make different type of content for the different types of funnel, whether it's top of funnel, middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel. You need to have these different types of content to work on different types of customers, whether they're just now aware of your brand or they've been aware of your brand for years and are just looking to make, their second, third, maybe fourth purchase. So you need to be making content for every single type of person if possible, while also staying true to targeting your type of audience. And again, like I always say, you want to study the winning brands in your niche and brainstorm how you can make your content similar to them, but better in some special way that works for your brand. Now, mistake number 4, I see a lot of small clothing brand makes is inconsistent branding. Your brand needs to have consistent messaging across the board and have consistent tone. You cannot be having a dark brand and then in the next week you're using bright colors and bright pastel, marketing and whatnot. Like you need to have consistent branding and dip in a consistent style in your videos. If you're constantly changing, your fonts, the looks of your page, your colors, you're just going to drive people away because they don't know like what your brand is about and they're confused on what your brand is portraying. So really, just be consistent with your clothing brand in terms of branding, colors, types of garments you make. And if you're going to do a big rebrand, let that be known that you're going to be doing a big rebrand. You're going to be changing stuff. Don't be randomly changing stuff drop to drop because that is just not going to fly with a lot of these customers. The best clothing brands that have perfected their vibe know exactly how to tone and brand their content to best please their target audience. Now, the last mistake I see a lot of beginner clothing brands make is just not experimenting. Don't get stuck in posting the same exact type of content over and over and over and over again. Like if you keep spamming the same, flat lay picture, people are going to get bored of that. If you keep spamming the same influencer, people are going to get bored of that. You need to make sure you're experimenting and changing your type of content up every now and then. And literally, some of my most viral videos on my clothing brand and even the clothing brands I work for that make hundreds of thousands of dollars have come from me or them stepping outside of the box and trying a completely different form of content, whether that was a voiceover, storytelling, skits, or an on-body influencer video. Just try a different type of content that is outside of your norm. Just make sure that it's done well and you can portray it to your audience in a meaningful way. And this will allow you to reach different types of people, different types of audiences, people who didn't see your brand in a specific way, and that will get more people to buy from your brand. As always, thank you guys for watching. This was a pretty quick video, but I wanted to highlight these mistakes to you so you can hopefully avoid them when you're working on your own clothing brand. But as always, join the free Discord down below, comment any questions you have down below, and feel free to subscribe. It really helps my channel out. I'm just shy of under 1,000 subscribers. I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm like 10 off as of making this video. But really, I would appreciate it if you guys subscribe because I really want to hit that 1,000 subscriber goal. But without further ado, if you want to work one-on-one, feel free to check that out in the description. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace.